Rachel Ferguson. They will introduce the team and get us started.
Countries often see the world through centuries of unique cultural experiences. Nevertheless, the recent development of technology and global media outlets is reinforcing and changing some nationalist views through contact with other countries. As a result, international civility and incivility may improve or deteriorate due to polarized dominant ideologies, media-driven fear, and ethical relativism.
In this special edition of the Civility game, we will focus on items we believe are affecting international civility. In the spirit of the academic symposium, we are not keeping score, and our contestants are all participating for the charity of their choice. How thoughtful. Speaking of our contestants, let's meet them now. We have Julie, Aaron, and Rachel. Julie, start us off.
My name is Julie Patton. I'm from Campbellsport, Wisconsin. I'm an active member of the NRA in my community, and I'm playing today for Presidents for Peace.
I'm Erin Fry. I'm from Marian, Wisconsin. I have traveled the world, and so today I am playing for the Nicaragua Medical Mission.
I'm Rachel. I'm a liberal feminist studying law enforcement, and I'm here to win and donate to the Beacon House.
And we have some wonderful gifts there donating to charity today. Presidents for Peace will be donating these Legos. Nicaragua will be donating these gloves and some toothbrushes. And the Beacon House. We have a whole lot of stuff here, folks. A bike, some books, and what I would consider a knick-knack.
Okay, so let's get the game started with the first question. Definitions for 100. What is incivility?
That.
Well, kind of. Aaron?
Deliberate discourtesy. And did you know that incivility is the opposite of civility? So civility then is showing regard for others.
Aaron, you got that correct.
Thank you, Aaron. After the very rude interruption by some audience members, you gave a very, shall we say, civil answer. Well done.
So Aaron, you get to choose our next category.
Definitions for 200, please.
What is this act of U.S. incivility? Rachel.
This example of U.S. incivility has to do with the Japanese internment camps in World War II. The U.S. was threatened by those of Japanese descent, and in turn, 120,000 Japanese Americans were sent into camps. No country, including the U.S., is exempt from these acts of U.S. incivility.
You are correct. It was the Japanese internment camps during World War II. So Rachel, you get to choose our next category.
I will take World Police for 200.
Okay. Name 2 criteria commonly used to rank a nation's power that can lead to international incivility. Julie.
Economic success and military power. Ranking nations by military strength and economic success creates a predatory global environment. This escalates incivility. Other possible criteria that promote global civility include food production, health, arts, and peacemaking.
Okay, you are correct. It is economic success and military power. So Julie, you get to choose our next topic.
World Police for 100, please.
Which industrialized country has the greatest number of persons incarcerated? Julie?
Mexico.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Rachel?
The U.S. has the greatest number incarcerated with 716 approximately out of every 100,000 are given 1 year or more in prison. Compared, Cuba incarcerates 531 out of every 100,000, Canada approximately 114, and Mexico 209. Of the U.S. prison population, over half are in a minority race.
You are correct. It is the United States.
No, wait just a second, Rachel. That's my country you're talking about. You better watch it. I don't know if I like your tone.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Rachel, you get to choose our next topic.
Culture for 100.
Okay. What is ethical relativism? Aaron.
Technically, it claims that morality is relative to the norms of one culture. And did you know that that means that whether an action is right or wrong depends on the culture? So really, moral standards are self-imposed, and it really makes it hard for countries to find some sort of common ground based on their ethical morals.
Okay, somewhere in there was the right answer. It is morality is relative to the norms of one's culture.
We all know the answer now.
So, Aaron, you get to choose our next topic.
Now, hold on a second. I believe it's my turn.
You're right. Okay, I guess.
You're always trying to run things.
I know.
Why are you always trying to take over?
Come on, let's be civil.
Am I not
about
good
this.
enough?
Let's go. Come on. Go ahead.
Aaron,
Culture for 200, please.
culture for 200 it is. Aaron, what is a dominant ideology? Julie.
A set of beliefs which dominate all others. These unconsciously absorbed beliefs often inhibit the development of radical political dissent within the population.
Well said. Moving right along, Julie. Since you got that one correct, where do you want to go next?
Culture for 300, please.
Culture for 300 it is. This Facebook trend is causing a conversation about which dominant ideology among friends. Rachel.
The symbol is for sexuality and marriage. People are changing their Facebook pages and their profile pictures to show the symbol, to show their beliefs and what they stand for regarding sexuality and gay marriage rights.
Absolutely correct. What's next?
Let's go with media for 200.
Which Wisconsin University's Facebook confessions page was taken down in late February due to inappropriate content? Julie.
Marian University.
Now, Julie, we're trying to have a great academic symposium here, and you are going to slander the name of the university we all love so very much. How dare you? That is incorrect. Aaron.
It was UW La Crosse, and did you know that theirs was so much worse than ours? There was a picture of someone that was passed out on the bathroom floor just weeks after someone had died of alcohol poisoning at the university.
Terrible. What's next?
Media for 100, please.
Media for 100 it is. What number of people worldwide have access to the internet? Rachel.
1 billion?
Surprisingly low. Julie.
5 billion.
Surprisingly high. Aaron.
3 billion?
Close, but no cigar. The answer is 2.4 billion internet users out of a total of 7.1 billion people in the world, actually accounting for 34% of the world's population, which is surprising considering a lot of you are probably on your phones and iPods right now not listening to a word I'm saying. 34% is all. Since Erin got the last question correct, she gets to go again.
Media for 400.
Media for 400 it is. What website was almost taken down because it leaked important private documents of national governments? Erin.
WikiLeaks.
That is correct. Now, Rachel, what did you think about the whole WikiLeaks controversy?
I think it's a good thing because it informs citizens and help them learn the truth about governments and the ones that affect them.
Well, I think it's bad because it creates civil unrest. It violates, it exposes things that the government tried to keep secret, and it just creates more incivility.
Now, Rachel, when I said Rachel, I meant Rachel the host. You're you're just a contestant. You don't have the authoritative power to take over like that. I don't like being overshadowed, so if you could just tone it down a little bit.
Again, calm down.
No, I have a right to be upset. I have a right to be upset. I earned this spot.
They're here out of the niceness of their hearts to work for charity, so just calm down.
You know what? If that's how you feel, why don't you just lead things?
I will.
Fine. Go ahead. Come on.
Okay, so the last one to get one right was Aaron, I believe, so you get to choose our next topic.
World police for 300, please.
What is one factor preventing the implementation of successful international regulatory organizations? Rachel?
One factor is media-driven fear. The current media focuses on sensationalism and conflict. One example of a study done by BBC, World Service, and GlobeScan chose to report that 21 out of 26 countries believe that the U.S. had a negative effect on the world. And there are countless headlines and articles that you'll find every day in the news with reasons to fear other nations and a lack of headlines and articles on international cooperation.
Okay, you are correct. It is media-driven fear. So Rachel, you get to choose our next category.
History 400, please.
Name this event depicted here. Aaron?
The Tiananmen Square protests. And did you know that this picture doesn't appear anywhere in China? The leaders there have just taken it out to help control the population. And here we would probably call that being politically correct.
Okay, now we know. And you are correct. It is Tiananmen Square protests. So Aaron, you get to choose our next category.
History for 100?
What is history? Rachel?
Did you know it's the change of people over time?
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Julie?
Written or oral record of past events, usually given through the lens of the victor or the dominant culture.
You are correct. It is written or oral records of present events. So, Julie, you get to pick our next category.
History for 200, please.
Who won the War of 1812? Julie?
The United States of America.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Canada.
Nope, I'm sorry.
Jamaica?
No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Because none of you got the answer right, we're actually going to go to our history expert, Ben Liebite. And Ben is a Rhodes Scholar, has multiple doctorates from multiple universities, including everyone in the Ivy League. This guy is really top-notch. Also served as a correspondent in the Clinton cabinet. Let's bring him out. Ben, can you give him some applause? We're very happy to have Ben here today.
Ben?
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 Terribly sorry that the bow tie just wasn't working this morning.
You got to get that straight, Ben.
Step 8, it's a killer. Okay, yes. Actually, the correct answer is no one. The war actually ended in a stalemate with the Treaty of Ghent. This is an excellent example of history being told through the lens of the dominant culture. And in a sense, it can be described as winner's bias. Even though no one actually won the war, the fact that it ended in a stalemate allowed each country to portray itself as the victor. For example, as Americans, we've all grown up learning that America won the War of 1812. If you ask any American who won, they would tell you that it was America, much like our dear friend Julie over here. However, on the contrary, if you were to ask any Canadian who won the war, most likely they would tell you that it was the British Canadians. Now, this difference in answers is due to the fact that each country, in a sense, rewrote their own history to make themselves seem more powerful, strong, and victorious, when in reality, they both basically just gave up. In this example, we see that history is biased and often fails to give an exact account of what actually happened.
Excellent answer, Ben. Couldn't have said it better myself. Everybody give him a hand. And the crowd shows signs of life. Let's move on.
Okay, so Julie, since you had the answer correct originally further down the line, why don't you take the next topic?
History for 300, please.
Okay, which countries read the least amount of foreign literature? Aaron.
The U.S. and those with dictators. And did you know that the U.S. doesn't translate books hardly at all because the publishers here don't have a knowledge of any foreign language? And on the other hand, dictators just ban this stuff. Did you know that?
I did.
We have the answers right here, and
Yeah.
we know everything.
The United States and those with dictators. You are correct. So, Aaron, you get to choose our next topic.
Culture for 400.
What percent of Americans believe it is essential to leak the I'm reading a different one. I apologize. What percent of Americans believe it is essential to speak a second language? Rachel.
80%?
No, you are incorrect. Aaron.
50%?
Still too high. You are incorrect. Julie.
Did you know it's 17%? While 77% of Americans believe that the rest of the immigrant population should learn English themselves.
Okay, you are correct at 17%. So, Julie, you get to pick our next topic.
Definition for 400, please.
Which country are these quotes describing? The true axis of evil and vulgar trash. Aaron.
Lebanon?
No, sorry. Julie?
Saudi Arabia?
No, I'm sorry, you are incorrect. Rachel?
North Korea.
No, I'm sorry, you are all incorrect. The correct answer is the United States.
What? No one thinks that of the United States. We're the greatest country in the world. Everyone knows that.
That's right. That's right. Stop ripping on my country. I've had enough.
Okay, so Julie, you get to choose our next category again.
Definition for 300?
Okay, what is your first impression of this man? Aaron?
He's a college student.
Nope.
Arab?
No, you are incorrect.
Hey, no. Stereotyping is dangerous. According to the Journal of Ethnicity and Criminal Justice, there were 513 more reported hate crimes against Muslims in 2001 than in 2000. Of the 546 crimes that were committed, 83% were after 9/11. What was the answer?
Okay, the correct answer is he's an American Muslim. So, Julie, you get to pick our next category again.
Culture for 500, please.
Name 4 dominant national ideologies often ignored by ethical relativism. Rachel.
Child labor, religion, education, and language.
You are correct. It is child, education, religion, and language, as well as some of these other categories we have up here. Rachel, you get to choose our next one.
Give us media for 500.
Aside from Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party movement, what 2012 uprising was directly fueled by social media? Julie?
The Arab Spring. It was a revolutionary wave of demonstrations, protests, and civil wars in the Arab world.
You are correct. It is the Arab Spring. So, Julie, you get to pick our next category.
World police for 500, please.
What policing organization has improved international cooperation and civility? Aaron.
Interpol. And did you know that Interpol has brought together 190 countries? It doesn't have a military agenda. It just helps each member's national central bureau work together in cooperation for cross-border investigations.
You are correct. It was Interpol. So, Aaron, you get to choose our next topic.
World Police for 400.
Can resistance lead to increased national or international civility? Rachel?
Yes, resistance can lead to increased civility. In the work of Mandela, Gandhi, even King, we see that peaceful resistance can lead to greater civility. Another protest, 1999 World Trade Organization protests in Seattle, is another example where peaceful protesters were able to stall unpopular decisions that the World Trade Organization was making at that time.
Okay, you are correct. It is yes. So, you get to choose our next topic.
Media for 300.
How do these comments made on Rebecca Black's Friday music video reflect the civility level of those on the internet? Julie?
There's a lack of civility because people are able to hide behind their usernames and they don't have to worry about being judged about face-to-face contact because no one knows who they are on the internet.
You are correct.
And why would somebody say such a thing? I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a big fan of Rebecca Black. Any other Friday fans? Yeah, there we go. 2, 3, maybe even 4. Okay, just some terrible things said. She can't sing? Well, how many music videos do you have out? She's an idiot. She's making more money than you. Okay, think about it.
I don't even know who Rebecca Black is.
And that is a shame. I will show you the video after the show.
Okay. So our next category is chosen by Julie.
Let's close out definition for 500.
Okay. This logo represents which international organization? Rachel?
NAFADTRM?
Okay. What is that acronym stand for?
National Association of Americans Doing the Running Man?
No, that is incorrect. Julie?
Actually, it's Doctors Without Borders. They demonstrate international civility working in nearly 70 countries to provide medical aid to those most in need, regardless of race, religion, or political affiliation.
Julie, you are correct. It is Doctors Without Borders.
So you mean to tell me there is no NAFADTRM?
I've never heard of that organization either, but
I like the idea. Let's talk after class. Quick money maker.
Okay, Julie, you get to choose another category, or our last one, it looks like.
History for 500, of course.
Okay. What country has the United States been continuously at war with for over 60 years? Julie?
North Korea.
You are correct.
And to hear a little bit more about this very important contemporary topic, we'll go back to Ben Liebelt. Ben, he needs applause, people. This is a very distinguished man. He's not just going to come out and speak to you for free.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, you'll have to bear with me. I have quite extensive knowledge on this, so I've got a lengthy answer.
Well, we're on a time schedule here, so if you could kind of give us the spark notes.
I'll do my best. Okay. So this conflict between North Korea and the U.S. actually stems back to 1950 with the Korean War. According to the History Channel, this was one of the first proxy wars between the U.S. and the USSR, as it was fought between North Korea, who was supported by the Soviet Union, and South Korea, who was supported by the U.S. Now, unlike most wars, this conflict resulted in a ceasefire in 1953. Since the ceasefire, there have been various skirmishes between the U.S. and North Korea. Some examples from the earlier years of this conflict are portrayed by Dr. Dick Nanto in his report for Congress. According to Nanto, in 1969, North Korea shot down an American plane, killing 31 Americans. On the other side, in 1981, the U.S. sunk a North Korean ship, which killed 9 North Koreans. Now, there are many examples of this, but to keep from boring you, I'll move on.
Thank you, Ben.
So, you're welcome. As the leadership shifted and Kim Jong-il took control from 1994 to 2011, these skirmishes continued on and off. There were high points of tension, as exemplified with the North Korean nuclear test explosions in 2006 and 2009. And there were also low points of tension, such as in 2008, when President Bush removed North Korea from the terror watch list. Now, under the new leadership of Kim Jong-un, these tensions have been on the rise again. Action-wise, as I'm sure most of you are aware, the U.S. has recently flown B-2s over North Korea to illustrate their power. However, this has only increased tension, as now North Korea has moved their missiles to the borders. An additional aspect of this new tension is seen in the interaction between the leaders. I'm not sure if you are aware, but did you know that Kim Jong-un has actually invited President Obama to talk with him face-to-face? Obama, however, has yet to accept this invitation. As seen in the previous question about Doctors with Borders, talking face-to-face is extremely effective, as it has the ability to improve civility and also improve international relations. However, though President Obama said he would meet with any foreign leader in his campaign statements, he has yet to follow through, and thus the conflict continues. Now, not to preach on you, but this continued conflict between North Korea and the U.S., which has lasted over 50 years and is now on the brink of becoming another Cold War, just shows how harmful incivility can be if it's left unresolved.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to point out a fact that some of you might not be aware of. The U.S. has sent a diplomat to North Korea to speak with Kim Jong-un, and his name is Dennis Rodman. Okay, the guy won NBA titles with the Bulls. He's 6'8", rebounded like a beast. So what if he changes his hair color every day? This guy is a legend, and I think he can get the job done. I think we should send him back again.
What does he know about diplomacy? What training has he had in it?
He won NBA championships with Michael Jordan.
And that would help why?
Let's just move on.
Okay, let's move on to our last question. Our final question of the round is, who wrote the following? Let's hug each other, let's unite ourselves. It is the time of love and brotherhood. The time of hate has passed. Ladies, please write down your answers. Get back over here. Leave them be. Okay, let's start it off with you first, Julie. What's your answer?
Bob Marley. It kind of sounds like a stanza from one of his songs.
No, I'm sorry, you are incorrect. Aaron?
Martin Luther King Jr., he talked a lot about brotherhood, especially in his I Have a Dream speech, so I thought that was him.
No, I'm sorry, that is not correct as well.
Is
Rachel?
it Taliban poet Nasrat?
You are correct. It is Nasrat, the Taliban poet.
And that will conclude our game for the day. Normally, in a game of regular civility where the contestants aren't so kind, we would have a winner. But today, everybody wins. The contestants, the audience, thank you for coming. Everybody's a winner. We have these wonderful prizes being donated to charity, and everybody's just done an excellent job. A couple people we'd like to point out specifically. The whole English 204 class, awesome job. Professor Fairchild, thank you very much. Everybody in maintenance who set this up. Special thank you to Tammy Thornton, Jeff Jurek, Dental City, Bill Akiri, Chad Vance, Marian Academic Symposium, and Beacon House.
I'd like the whole English class of 204 to please stand up.
Everybody give them a hand.
These are- Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, please have your pets spayed and neutered. Thank you.
Okay, and in the spirit of face-to-face communication and all the things we've talked about here, what we'd like to do in lieu of having a question and answer session is to invite everyone to come down, talk with our panelists, talk with each other. Let's all have a discussion about civility that takes place right here, right now, right here on the floor. So we welcome you all. Come on down, talk with us.